control the things you can and let go of the things you can't.
In a career spanning more than 3 decades, Audrie has travelled the world working in theatre, film and television.
Casting directors, writers, directors, agents, they can smell a victim a mile away and they will not touch you.
She has appeared in roles on the BBC, ITV and Channel 4 and is proud to have been Mask Theatre Consultant for the Royal Shakespeare Company and Associate Lecturer at the University of York.
I've looked over it. Shut up. No, get on your feet. Say it. Say it while you're doing the washing up. Say it while you're going for your walk.
She is the founder and director of the speaking and communication consultancy business, Audrie Woodhouse, Honestly Speaking Ltd.
Hello and welcome to the Actors Actuality podcast. We are here with Audrie Woodhouse. Audrie, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Very well indeed.
Good. Alex, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Samuel.
Fantastic. We'll go straight into our questions. We thought we'd start off with some questions around industry research. Let's say I've got an agent meeting coming up. What are some important questions I should be asking and should expect to be asked?
Good. Okay. So, well, you know there are a gazillion agents out there. So I think the first thing to do is hold your nerve, because if you've got a meeting with an agent, you can get really excited because you think, oh my God, somebody wants me. And really the thing to do is to just take a step back and think, right, okay, so who is this agent? How long have they had their agency? Who are their partners, associates? So who's working for them? And get a good idea of whether this agent is interviewing you because they want to represent you, or whether they just want you on their books and an associate might represent you, because that's entirely different. Not that there's anything wrong with an associate or partner representing you or finding you work, but you really need to know where you stand from the get-go, and you need to make sure that the person who is going to be your person is completely there and aligned with you. Sometimes it's not actually the head of the agency that ends up being your person, so do check that out. See who they've got on their book. So if there's somebody who looks identical to you, then it's, well, you would question why they would see you in the first place. But secondly, you've got to think, right, they are seeing me, so why? Is this other person exiting? Is there something really different about them that I can't see from the bio and the photo? Look for where the client of the agent, where the clients work, what kind of work that they do. Is it the kind of work that you feel might be your genre, your style, your ambition to work towards? Sometimes that's a really good thing. Agents get known for casting certain types of people in certain types of industries, certain types of directors, casting directors, and sometimes that can be really good for you if you think, well, that's my goal, that's my aim, I want to be in that area. So look for that. See which of their clients are working where you want to work. Look to see the length of a career. So sometimes they've got lots of people on their books, but they might have just had one job. Some of them might have only been in the industry for a couple of years. But if you've got someone there and they've been represented by the same person and they've got a good career for, say, like 5, 10, 15, 20 odd years, then you think, right, okay, so this agent wants to build rapport and relationships with their actors, their clients. They want to find them roles that suit them, that feel right for them, that are actually aligned with their life and career. They have a level of service, which means it's a partnership rather than you're just on my books because I need you on my books and I need that face. So where you can figure out that there has been a healthy relationship nurtured, then that's a really great sign. So that's even before you've stepped in the room. Sometimes location's good as well. So, for example, I know some agents that don't even live in London anymore, but they still have an office in Soho. And they're doing that because they know it's important that there's a base for actors to get to, because a lot of them obviously based in London. It's not essential, but if you're a London-based actor, it's great for you to have a place where you can go and meet face to face and have a good old chat with your agent. Again, it might be that you're a northern actor and you want to be able to go meet them in Manchester, so Media City based, something like that, centre of Manchester, something like that, where if you're a northern actor, it's easy for you to get to, and they seem and feel connected to the industry there. Then that's a really good sign and a commitment to wanting to be in it. So not always necessary, but it's something that you might want to look out for as a performer. We know as actors that it's important for us to all have as many strings to our bow as possible. So you guys have been at drama school, so you get put through your paces, and that's brilliant, because you really do have to be able to do anything. And it's definitely right to think about sticking to your guns in terms of who you know you are and who you want to be. But at the same time, sometimes you've got to compromise, and you've got to think, yeah, but I want to work. So there are some compromises I need to make here. Maybe I've got to do a bit of dance, or I need to sing, or something like that. But the role itself, the job itself, is a really good one, and it's going to serve me many other purposes, so I'm going to do it. So really, you want an agent who can see all of the things that you can do, can identify them, and is happy to put you forward for stuff, and for you to use all the strings in your bow. And that does work both ways. A lot of actors are really reluctant. They get a little bit stuck in a rut. So while they're there serving coffee in Covent Garden, waiting for the next job, actually saying, yeah, but I'm not going to do anything but just straight acting, that's one thing. But if you've got, which is no good, by the way, but if you've got an agent who's there going, well, they're just an actor that can't really do anything else, I haven't seen them dance in years, then it's limiting for you. So do you know what I mean? You've got to have someone who's prepared to serve you and get you the jobs you want, but also go, come on, I know you want that, but you can also do this. Let's see where this goes, and have those open conversations. You might be the kind of actor who knows that you do want that face-to-face contact, and you do want meetings regularly. It's unreasonable to ask for too much. But if you know you want that, then ask your agent if they're prepared to give you that, and be upfront about that. Because someone like, well, I don't really have time, and that's okay. They might say, well, I'll be happy to do a Zoom call every couple of months, but you can't be coming in the office every 2 months and sitting down and having a bit of coffee because I haven't got time. Whereas another one might be, oh my God, I wish more people did that. Absolutely, come on. I know in the past I've had conversations with my agents about, well, I want to go and do this now, and how do I add that as a string to my bow, and had brilliant philosophical conversations about my life and my career. And my agents also supported me in coming to events where I've been teaching other people to act, and she's come as the guest speaker and just been a complete support to me. And if you can find somebody who's happy to give up a bit of their time, and there's a bit of give and take, I mean, that is worth its weight in gold. And it is hard to find, especially if they're a brilliant agent at the same time. I mean, that's a big thing. That's commitment. I think I'll stop talking now, because maybe out of what I've just said, you've got a question to ask me out of that, because I've been waffling a bit.
I do have a question. Is the amount of clients an agent has important?
Well, if you've got 20 fantastic stars on your books, you don't need 100, do you? if you've got 100 actors that are never working, then, you know, there's an issue. So I think that's down to you. You know, a lot of agents are going in, they've got actors on their books that, like I say, they've had them for decades, but they're still going into drama schools and taking on any number of actors when they leave drama school. And there's a reason for that. It's because out of that any number, there will be some that stick and some that don't. So don't think, oh, well, they've just taken on a load of new actors. Of course they have, because they're looking for the next generation of actors. And they know full well that a lot of actors, when they leave drama school, will struggle and they will drop out. Some will stay and they'll have a long career, others won't. An agent can't really do anything about that. They'll work really hard to find them the work. But if we actors don't have the resilience to stay in it, then we can't stay in it. So, you know, I wouldn't worry too much about the size of the book. You want to know that they've got successful actors on the books that have been working a long time, doing many different things. And if they've got a lot of people on their books, what does their team look like? They could have a brilliant team that can manage 250 people. If it's just one with no team, but 20 brilliant ones, then maybe give them a shot. You don't know. I mean, it is a personal thing. Yeah. So maybe it's, I mean, we're talking now, aren't we? So you're asking me questions and I'm giving you advice, but it's just, I always say when I'm talking about stuff like this is my take on it from my experience, my years of experience, seeing knowing what I've gone through and seeing what other actors have gone through that I've worked with and trained. But it's a lot of noise. So whatever I say, it's something to put in your toolbox if you want to, and disregard if you want to as well, because it's such a crazy industry where really you've got to rip up the rule book sometimes and just go with your gut.
We're taking a quick pause from today's episode to talk about our collaborators for this season, Actor and their Pay What You Can scheme.
Actor have kindly given us a special Actors Actuality exclusive link for you guys to increase your chance of being selected for their Pay What You Can scheme. Whether you're looking for headshots, voice, song, or monologue reel, Actors Pay What You Can initiative means you'll get the same quality and care as a full price reel, but for a price that you can afford.
Of course, the Pay What You Can scheme is very popular, so by using our link, you'll be being referred by us, giving yourself an increased chance of being selected for the scheme, plus you'll be giving us a bit of a kickback, which always helps.
I actually got my first ever headshots with Actor back in 2021 when I was a young boy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's it, to be honest. That's all I had to say. Check out their link in the description. It's a great initiative. In terms of reaching out to agents and industry, what works and what doesn't work?
Sorry, ask me that question again.
In terms of reaching out to agents, whether that be emailing or casting directors emailing, what works and what doesn't work in your experience?
I'm going to tell you my experience, and it's nothing that I know anybody else has done. A handwritten letter, a damn good photograph, a follow-up with a phone call, and a show that they can come and see you in.
Solid.
Yeah. Cool. The email and the WhatsApp note and the persistent telephone calls, sometimes a bit much. So what cuts through? They're always looking for that image, that way in that strikes them as unique and different. And I mean, seeing you in something is wonderful. Showreels are often really good, but that's not, honestly, be really honest with you, that isn't my experience, because when I started out, there was no email, there was no mobile phone, there was no showreel to be made. So the industry has changed massively whilst I've been in it, and I've had to adapt to it. But regardless of all of those changes, the agent, the performing arts world, we're all just looking for that raw talent that just hits us between the eyes, and we think, okay, that's interesting. I can't get away from that. I'm doing it. So, you've got to think, what's your angle, and go for it.
Cool. Thank you. We also want to talk a little bit about goal setting. Now, goals are a useful tactic for productivity and furthering yourself. How can specifically actors use goals to enhance or plan their career trajectory?
Yeah, so it's funny, isn't it? Because in acting, you feel like you're out of control, like it's as if everybody else has control over your future. And I think that that's a very unhealthy way to think. You've got to control the things you can and let go of the things you can't. So goal setting can be really useful because you can have an idea in your mind of where you want to get to, and you can have a very firm idea of that. Some people don't deal well with goal setting, partly because they're afraid of the failure. So they're thinking, I'll never get there, so I'm not going to set that goal. And in doing so, they sometimes end up with a kind of a mushy, wishy-washy, sort of meandering way towards hopefully getting something. Others just strike it lucky and they land a dream job that they never thought they were ever going to get, and they're on their way. But that is luck. I mean, a lot of this is down to luck. However, if you set a goal, you're more likely to reach it than you would if you never set the goal in the first place. So if you set yourself a standard, and if you set yourself an ideal target, and you think to yourself, right, okay, that is where I want to get to by such a date. Now, again, as I said to you before, sometimes you've got to let go of the things you can't control. So you're doing it knowing that there are so many other factors that come into play, but you do it anyway. And by doing it anyway, what you then can do is create an action plan of the things you know you can do. So if you want to be in a hit Netflix show in 3 years' time, you need to start thinking about all of the actions you need to take in order to reach that goal. So who do you need to speak to? Who do you need to connect with? What kind of roles do you need to do which lead up to that point? What kind of casting workshops can you go to? Where do you invest your very, very precious pennies in order to be seen and heard by the right people? Because there's not a lot of money while you're on your way there, but sometimes a few £100 in the room with the right casting director and the right people is worth every penny, everything. What kind of look at the headshots that the actors have that are in the kind of jobs that you want, and think, who took those pictures? What kind of style are they? What's the tone? And get your photos done by that photographer. What kind of listen to interviews, all that kind of stuff. And so you're listening to these actors speak about their life, their career, listen to the way they do it, listen to what they did. Some of that stuff you can adopt, you can do as well. What actions do you glean from that you know you can do? So for me, setting goals is really important. It means that you're always going to be thinking of, right, have I checked in with my portfolio? Are my monologues and my songs still relevant? Do they still suit me? I'm older now. I look different now. Oh, I can do this now. What monologues do I need? What new things do I need to discover to make sure that I'm armed with all of the right resources to get that role that I'm aiming for in 3 years' time? And you just keep going. It's very easy to slip and get into this victim mentality where it's everybody else's fault. It's everybody else's fault. It's not yours. Everybody else's fault. So many actors do that. And it's the worst place to be, because and I have sympathy for it to a degree, because it's just horrible and it's so easy to slip down into that. But I do get to a point where I go, well, it's your life, it's your career. What are you going to do about it? There's only you that can do whatever it takes to get there. And do you know, by setting the goal, even if you never get that hit show on Netflix in 3 years' time, you will have created so many other opportunities for yourself along the way by doing the things you're doing. You open doors, you network more, you meet new people. It might be that goal you set for yourself, you never reach, because actually it was never actually the right thing. Because as you start on the path, you learn something about yourself and you think, this learning has taught me this, and you go off in a different route, and that's absolutely fine. At least you're doing something and you're moving forward in a healthy way, and you are not playing the victim. By the way, casting directors, writers, directors, agents, they can smell a victim a mile away and they will not touch you. So you've got to create your own destiny in a sense.
I think that was really useful. I think, like you say, it reinforces that self-belief in a way, because if you can take control of what you're doing, there's more belief in yourself, there's more fulfillment because you're being more productive, and you, like you say, you move forward whether you reach that initial goal anyway, because you are taking steps rather than sort of just standing there waiting for something to come at you. I think it's really important to think about that 100%.
Yeah. And I like the way you brought up self-belief.
Yeah.
Because when we're like young kids at drama school and stuff like that, we're all like, I believe in myself. And it is this kind of fantasy dream. And then you come out and you're like, but how do I keep believing in myself? And the only way to believe in yourself is to support yourself fully. Like, do the stuff you know you need to do to get where you want to get to. You do it. Nobody else. You do it. And that's how you maintain belief, by the actions you take. Because then you go, I believe I can because I am doing it. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, you need to have a stack of evidence that says you are who you say you are. Because in those moments when your confidence is low, you can look back at yourself. But yeah, I went to that workshop. I write scripts. I put myself out there. I watch theatre. I watch film. I think that's really important.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, a stack of evidence. And don't forget, in acting, you are playing the long game. You are playing the long game. Every audition you go to is not just thinking about that audition, it's thinking about all the other opportunities that might come from that audition, even if you don't get offered that one. So you never go half-hearted. You never go thinking, I don't really want this one. You go thinking, there's something to be learned here. There's an opportunity to be had. There are new people to meet. I'm going all out.
100%.
100%, yeah. Nothing is wasted time.
No. Hello, we hope you're enjoying today's episode of the Actors Actuality podcast. We just wanted to take a quick moment to talk to you about the Actors Actuality newsletter.
The Actors Actuality newsletter comes out twice a week, Monday and Friday. Subscribe below. Moving on to postgrad life and the life of a young actor. I've just moved to London as a young actor. How can I make the most of it?
Ooh. So I lived in London for 10 years. And I absolutely loved all of it. Now, this has nothing to do with acting, but I decided that I would walk as much of London as I possibly could. And to me, that has made my experience then, but even now when I go back to London, it's made my experience so joyous, because I can walk anywhere. I can literally just get off at King's Cross and walk to wherever I need to get to. And suddenly London becomes very small. And that's a really nice feeling. And you feel at home there. You don't feel like an alien in your town. You know, I know it's a city, but you know, it's like, it's your manor. And doing it on foot also did help me as an actor, because sometimes tubes are down, bus didn't come, whatever. I'm like, I'll do a little trot. I might have to do a sprint, but I'll get there because I know where it is. Also, you suddenly figure out how close everybody is to everybody else, certainly in the theatre world, and how everyone's just around the corner, actually. So, yeah, I know that sounds like a random thing, but honestly, doing London on foot, walking wherever you can walk has been brilliant. It's been very good for my mental health at times as well. Because honestly, the tube and all of that, it can be quite a dreary place to exist if you're feeling down and lonely and like nothing's on your side. But get yourself outside, get yourself in nature, get walking, get listening to your own thoughts, see people around you, see what's going on in the world around you, and you realize, you're just part of a bigger picture. And today is just a day. The birds are still singing. The leaves are still falling from the trees in all beautiful colors, and dogs are running off the lead and babies are still crying. Life's okay. Sometimes that's really important, because you forget that sometimes in London. You do forget it. So yes. Eat well. Actors are rubbish at taking care of themselves. My experience is they go all out like an addict. Like, no, this week I'm going to the gym every single day, and then they stop. Oh, I'm tired. It's too hard. Or I'm going to eat health food for a month. I'm like, no, just create a way of life. Decide like how you want to live your life and live it well. Like, what food nurtures me? Right, I'm going to do that. How much sleep do I need? Forget the podcasts. Forget all of the advice from all these people. Go, I need 6 hours. No, definitely, you've got to have 8. Just really think about what you need to stay fit and well and healthy. Like, how do you show up well to an audition? What is it that you need? So I think, and that's important for London as well, because it's tiring. People always say that London's really expensive and you can't really live well. You can live really well. You can live really well. And I was on a budget with 3 jobs. I know how tough it can be, but I found an outdoor pool right in the centre of Covent Garden. I swam every day. I walked there, by the way, on foot. I found a really cool shop that sold really cheap, like crockery and stuff like that, and I bought all my stuff from there. And you can live really well. So find your home. London's actually really villagey, so really create a homely space for yourself and treat it as a place that you're going to live for as long as you want to. Could be for the rest of your life as an actor. And really, really enjoy it. Like, take up your space there. There are so many opportunities for you to get into theatres and get into film studios and casting suites by offering to work. So, work front of house, or offer to sit at the desk, or offer to assist. And you might be doing that for free to begin with, but then you won't be. So keep your hand in, stay interested, get to know people, offer to do the work. That'll keep you inspired and keep you engaged. Answer emails for your agent, or like put letters in envelopes or whatever. Just get involved with the people around you as well. People are really important, because you can get very lonely. So get out there, get working, volunteer, network, do all you can to stay connected with people, especially people in your industry. Stay connected with home. So when everything else goes wrong, your family are there for you unconditionally. Most of us, the lucky ones. Sorry, not the same for everyone, but sometimes your family actually isn't your bloodline. It could be your close friends. Whoever your family and close people are, keep them close, keep communicating with them. Often you get on this sort of London treadmill, and you're doing your thing, and you don't stay connected in the way that you should, or the way that you always did. So I would always check in with family and close friends, and keep that support system there, because it is really tough when you're rejected and dejected, and you need those people around you. What else is cool in London? Obviously, you want to be going to anything that's free. There's so much free stuff. So get yourself to art exhibitions and museums and stuff like that. They're really inspirational places, really inspiring. So I wrote a lot. So I did quite a lot of journaling when I was in London. And sometimes I'd go and sit in a museum or in the British Library, or even at the National. I'd just go and sit in the cafe there, and I'd be on the river. I'd do this stuff because it helped to remind me of why I was there and why I wanted it so much and why I loved London. And get yourself to those free spaces and free concerts, free shows, comp tickets. Do all of those things. Don't get lazy, don't get lethargic, don't think, oh, well, it's an hour on the tube, I can't be bothered. No, get yourself out there, because you need to be fresh, you need to be current, you need to be inspired, you need to bring that magic with you into the room when you go to an audition. So you've got to stay in it. Have fun, go to parties. London's an amazing place to be, so do socialize a lot. Okay, so maybe don't drink lots and take lots of drugs so that you're not able to work. I don't condone that at all. But honestly, have fun and enjoy life and be in it. Is that enough?
That's perfect. I think it's about, like you're saying, about creating that safe space and a home for yourself. Like, you're there, you might be there for the acting and for your career, but you're also there. It is your life as well that is existing. And I think what you said about walking is really great, actually, because it not only do you remember where you're going and realize how close everything is, but you also remind yourself where you are. Like, you're not leaving your house, getting on a tube and going to work or going to a room. You're walking around the place and realizing, okay, I'm here for a reason, I'm doing this. And you can walk with purpose, and maybe don't listen to music once, we walk around, just listen to the sounds and eavesdrop and just be in that environment. And I think, all about that, creating that safe space, I think, is really important. Everything you said is really important to hear and a good reminder, I think. Really helpful. Thank you.
It's also really easy to fall into that trap of moving to London, working your 40-hour-a-week job and just not doing anything else. But there's a reason we moved to London. I mean, neither of us are from London. We moved it for the theatre, and like you said, all the free things and the social life and the world of acting and beyond that exists here. It's such an insane opportunity. You'd be crazy but it's so easy. It's so easy just to fall into that routine.
Yeah. And when you do fall into that routine, by the way, you think that it's only you that's living like that. You've got to get out there and be reminded that there are so many actors doing that 40-hour week, and they're in the same boat as you. And everyone's just trying to get by. And that, by the way, is an amazing support network. So yeah, you really, really do have to be connected. And honestly, it's not easy for everyone, but try to find work that is connected in some way to what you're going to be doing, even if it's just a place where loads of actors go to work. It is good for you to do that, so that you can be reminded that there are other people out there who are living the way you live and striving to achieve the same thing as you, or a similar thing to you. Yeah. I remember, I'm just thinking, what, because I'm still really, really close friends with the guys that I lived with when I first moved to London, and I'd never met them. So I didn't know their names. I had never seen a photograph of them. I hadn't seen a photograph of the flat. And I literally turned up with the suitcase, and the principal of the London School of Musical Theatre met me, and he very kindly had found a place around the corner. So cool, just off the cut from the Old Vic. And he'd found it for the 3 youngest people on the course, which one of them was me. And I was the first to turn up. I'd moved to this little flat, which had 3 rooms, and a bathroom and a kitchen. And I had to choose which one. And because I was too worried about upsetting anyone, I just chose the middle-sized one. And then a couple of days later, the other girl arrived, Melissa, and then 2 weeks later, the other girl arrived, Brenda, and we are really great friends now. Like, so we always were, we are. We've all had brilliant lives in theatre and the performing arts. And downstairs, like 2 other guys on the course eventually moved into a flat downstairs. So literally we could look out of our window and look down, and they were downstairs. And there was all kinds of weird and wonderful things going on. But we all, when we weren't training, we were all going off to our theatre jobs or going off to work at the IMAX cinema or doing front of house at the Old Vic or in Leicester Square. And one of my friends who lived downstairs, he was a singing waiter. You know, he would wait on and then he would sing. And then his girlfriend also became a singing waiter. And then they became the managers of the restaurant. You know, they made the absolute best of it. And we had our flat, it was really weird. It's like the rooms were interchangeable. So if one person went away on tour, then somebody else came and filled it, and then that person would leave, so somebody would come back. I mean, I left that flat and moved back in so many times. And to this day, the 3 of us were thinking, why didn't we just buy that flat? It would have been insane. We would still have that flat now. We honestly just, yeah, you've just got to enjoy it and just relish every moment. We've got amazing memories and incredibly close now. So you've got to do that while you can.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. Moving on to auditioning. Let's say you've got an audition next week. What are you doing in the days leading up to it to ensure that you put your best foot forward?
Yeah, I think I've said some of this already. So sleep is a massive thing. So you might not sleep that well before your audition, like the night before. So you've got to think about banking sleep and rest. So you really 2 weeks out before an important audition, you want to be trying to get into a routine of getting to bed early, rising early, and having some healthy sleep. So create a sleep routine for yourself that actually indicates to your brain, yeah, I need to get to sleep now. And first few nights, you'll be thinking, oh, crikey, I can't sleep. But, you know, pick up a book, read a book, do whatever you need to do to get into a routine and bank up as much sleep as you can. If you've got an opportunity to rest on a day off, really rest. Like, don't go, yay, I'm free, I'm going out clubbing. I mean, rest, as in go for a good walk, get some fresh air, maybe go to the gym or whatever you need to do to feel good in your body, and then eat some good food and sit on the sofa and watch a film. Like, rest. So you're building up energy in your body. Because a few days before, you'll snap into, right, the nerves are coming in, I really want this job, I've got my portfolio, I know my monologue. What you should do, like, if you don't, then you get a slap over the head by me. You know your monologue, you know your song, you know whatever you need to do, and you should be really well prepared. You need to obviously eat well. Let's go back to preparing this monologue then. So you know your monologue, but your monologue might have been in your portfolio for flipping ages, in which case you might need to change it. But you need to be saying it out loud. Now that sounds stupid because we're all actors here, so of course we're rehearsing it out loud. Yeah, of course we are. But a lot of the time we're not. I've looked over it. Shut up. No, get on your feet. Say it while you're doing the washing up. Say it while you're going for your walk. Sit your flatmate down on the sofa and say, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it really fast. I'm going to say it really slow. I'm going to say it with this emotion. I'm going to do. And even if you've been successful with that monologue a million times, you need to be, when you walk into that space, remember, you need to perform as if it is right in the moment, as if you are that character right there and then. And it might not be the monologue, by the way, in your portfolio. It might be a script they sent you. Same thing. You need to be up, practicing, speaking, doing, and getting feedback. Getting feedback before you go in the room is really important. Now, you can't get feedback if you do it half-hearted. You've got to you've got to find the thing, you've got to find that character, you've got to nail it down, and then you've got to practice like hell. And anything less than that is not enough. it's just not enough. So you don't leave anything on the table. You really do. You go for it. If your audition is live but on a screen, by the way, which can happen, then you need to be rehearsing that to somebody on the other side of a screen as well, and them giving you feedback on that. Again, if it's a self-tape, we're not talking about that, but just to say, record your self-tape and send it off to someone for feedback before you say, right, that's my final draft. So get some critical eyes on it before you go, oh yeah, that's done, I'm sending it. By the way, I think for a long time I was the worst person at that. I could not wait to get the flipping thing done. I was just like, yeah, done. Thank you very much. Because I'm an old school, old person who likes in-person auditions. But I've learned my lesson. You need to get some good feedback on it before you send it off. Get your head right. So get in a really good headspace. So you should have done some research around the play. So if you're auditioning for a play which we already know, you should have read the whole play. You should know something about the playwright. You should know who the casting director is, what they have done in the past, what they like to see. That could be the director, it could be the casting director, it could be the writer. Know who you're going to meet on the day and research them. Know everything about them. Literally know everything about. There might be some stuff that you can find out which is personal, like they love dogs. Yeah. So it could be that you end up talking about dogs. And I'm saying that because don't forget, when you go into an audition, there are two parts to it at that time, aren't there? There's, hi, I'm me, and I know that you'd love to work with me because I'm a really nice person. So there's that bit where you need to be able to show yourself. So they go, well, I'd really love to work with that person. I just feel the right energy about that person. So there's that, there's you, the authentic you. And then there's the character you, the character that you're going to show them, that they're so happy to see that you've lifted it off the page in a unique way and done it in a way that nobody else can. There's that as well. So you've got to do work for both bits. So get all your character, all that stuff done, and then all of the you stuff, the personal stuff, building relationships, building rapport, knowing how to strike up a conversation and have small talk. That's important as well. If you go in there as nervous as hell and as tense as hell, I go, God, just let's get to the audition bit, and then you do the audition brilliantly. They're like, really nice, but the other guy really liked them. They've got the job. So you've got to think about all of these things. What else? There's so much else, but I could go on for hours, so I won't. I'll stop.
On to our final question now, Audrie. If you could give one piece of advice, one sentence of advice to a young actor entering the industry today, what would that be?
The reason why I'm struggling with this is because I've given a lot of advice to young actors, and the reason why I'm struggling is because for every actor, the advice is different. Because we're all human beings and we all need something different at different times in our lives. I think you've got to remember to do this job for you. If you're doing it because you set out on the path and you told everyone you were doing it, but now you no longer want to do it, it's not right. You've got to be in it for you and nobody else, only for you. And if you can go to bed at night feeling heartbroken, disappointed, rejected, all of those things, but still say, yes, but I know this is all I want to do, then you're in the right game.
Audrie Woodhouse, thank you very much for coming on the podcast. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Actors Actuality podcast. You can find all our important links in the description below,
such as Instagram, website, and the all-important affiliate pay-what-you-can actor link.